Hi, I'm Sean Smith. This is Sean Smith Photos, where I edit street photography and occasional travel photos in On1 Photo Raw. Today I went out and did something different than I usually do for street photography. I took my 90mm f2 lens, which is not a typical street photo lens, but I took it out and thought I'd give it a shot. I took 215 shots. And after my initial pass through, I'm down to 28. Ultimately, I will get it down to 6 or 7 because I like to have my keeper rate at around 3%. And so these shots here are shots that, I took and it's like, oh, they all have potential. We'll see what happens. Some of them, like this guy drinking his coffee at the subway, I'll probably delete it later. But the point of keeping all of this is because I want to try Brilliance AI batch processing and see what it does. And then I'm going to choose one photo that I'm going to publish to my website. Link flashing on the screen right now, and you can check the description for that. I'm also going to publish that same photo to Vero, flashing on the screen, in the link in the description below. And so I'll do a full edit after I go through and see what Brilliance AI does. Now, typically I do black and white, so Brilliance AI doesn't do black and white, but we'll see where it takes me, and maybe I will use what it has and keep with it, or maybe I'll just switch over to a preset. We'll find out. I have done nothing in advance of this. Let's get to it. All right, so hit the tab key, and I get my navigation on the left, and I get my info panel on the right. Now, here we go. Brilliance AI is on top of the metadata tab. So I'm going to select all of my photos. And then I'm going to turn this on and we'll see what happens and how long it takes. So we've got 28 photos and let's see how long it takes to update that. Yeah, I can see it updating different shots along the way. I wish there was a progress bar somewhere so I could see when it's all done. All right, so to me, oh, it's still going. I don't know, about 12 seconds, 15 seconds to do 28 photos. So, about 2 seconds a photo. And these are 40 megapixels, or sorry, yeah, it's a 40 megapixel sensor. So it's really large file sizes. I think it's done pretty well. Everything seems nice and snappy. Let's go in and view these, and we'll go into the develop module. I'll hit D and go into the develop module, and I'm going to hide the preset tab because I just want to make this bigger. Hide the preset tab by going Control and left arrow. All right, it's still loading up the picture, which is why my hotkeys are not working. And now my hotkeys are working. And let's, where is it? Show hide the preview. So I don't think Brilliance AI did a lot with this. It brightened up the shot. I'm probably not going to do this. I'm just going to X that one. Let's go to the next shot. So I like this shot because we've got the red, and the red. Unfortunately, I did not nail the subject. And I kind of did this off the cuff with a 90mm lens. So I'm going to have to throw this away. She's out of focus enough that there's no way AI noise and sharpening is going to fix it. So goodbye. Now I like this one also because we've got the red, long red coat, we've got this orange or red hat, and then we got the red post office box. So I think I will keep this and maybe edit it later. But let's, yeah, so AI auto, this is the before, there's the after. Definitely brighten things up. I would crop this in, get rid of this car, keep the bus because it's another red element. So we've got red, red, red hat, red / orange hat, and another red jacket back here. Let's maybe crop in a little bit tighter. Yeah, so I think this is pretty good for a starting point. Let's go to the next shot. And to go next and previous is left or right arrow. So this shot here, I like it because we've got the orange collar and the harness on the dog and the orange red hat. It all works together. And let's check backslash will show us the preview or the unedited before Brilliance AI. Yeah, everything's a little bit flatter. This is brighter. Let's crop in here. And we'll try and crop out this woman. There. I think that did a nice job. We got rid of the woman, and then we still got all of this red and / orange stuff together. Let's see, before, after, not a lot of difference. And I'm looking at this, I don't really like this shot, so I'm going to reject it. Next one. Okay, so I really like this one. This is in St. Lawrence Market in Toronto. And while it's not technically a great shot, I like it for a couple of reasons. We've got some really nice bokeh in here. And then we've got this massively tall guy compared to the rest of the crowd, literally head and shoulders taller than everybody else. So I am definitely going to keep this. But let's see, before, really bright. I think it's a little bit too dark with Brilliance AI, but the colors, especially on his face, are a lot better. So I'm going to just pull in the crop here. And I like to crop my stuff to 4x5. And maybe let's, oops. Yeah, okay, so I think this is pretty good, and maybe we'll come back to this one. All right, now I like this shot a lot. I'm not sure why I marked it as rejected before, but I'm going to keep it. And we'll hit the backslash key again. Flatter image. It's definitely got more contrast and more vibrance or saturation added to the reds. And you can see these tints here are marked as St. Lawrence Market. So let's crop this and get to the edge of the tint. Pull this down a little bit like this, and then I like this framing a lot here because now it's like we've got this little ribbon across the top telling us exactly where this shot was taken. This ribbon is slightly out of focus, but in focus enough for reading, and then we've got our subject in perfect focus. All right, so let's keep going. Yeah, this shot's okay. Backslash key. I'm probably not going to keep it, despite there being some juxtaposition of the tan of her jacket and the sign. You know, a walk past a wall, while it's somewhat common in street photography, it's a little bit boring. Your opinion may differ, but in my opinion, I don't really like it that much. It's kind of like a shot that I'll take, but unlikely to share. So let's delete that. All right, so here's another shot. We're at Sugar Beach. Uh, and I've got this reflection in the building, and you can see the umbrellas and the lake there. And I really like how this bicycle is reflected and framed in the window. So I am going to keep this, and I'm going to crop it, and I'm going to pull away from that telephone pole and frame this a little bit better, a little tighter. Let's pull this down to about there. I think this will be a better frame. And let's check the before and after of what Brilliance AI did. Yeah, definitely better. And next, nope, not going to keep that. I really like this bird. I am going to keep that. Here's the before. There's not actually Brilliance AI didn't do much with this, but I think straight out of the camera that lens doesn't need much. Maybe a square crop. I'll come back to that later. And we've got this guy with a bottle of wine that after I took this shot and him looking right at me, he poured into his coffee cup. I like this shot a lot because I got some good eye contact. A guy sitting on the beach with the bright red jacket or chair and a bottle of wine. I am going to keep this. Let's see the before and after. Yep, flat. Brilliance AI did a great job here. Let's crop it. Pull in tight until we get this pull either at the edge of the frame or enough that we can remove the pull entirely. I think that's a good spot. Okay, I like this dog, and it's not really doing much before and after. Yeah, definitely it's been sharpened and some contrast added into the dog's hair. So if I hit off, on, off, on, this is a much better shot. Brilliance AI, I'm really, really impressed with how it does, and I think it's a great starting point. And I think for this shot, I want to do square. I'm going to pull in tight, a little bit tighter from the bottom here, and we will put the eyes on the rule of thirds there. Yeah, I like this shot. That's great. Oh, beautiful. Go here. I like this bird. And before, after, come on. Not much difference here. Okay, so this bird shot, while there is some slight difference, in this case, yeah, I like it. I think we will keep that. This runner, not a fan of that anymore. So I'm going to hit X. And you see bottom right that it's kind of processing the shot. So I'm going to hit X and move it out of the way. I like this dog. Hit X. X. Yeah, I like these heads. There was this vendor selling winter hats. It's not quite winter yet, but obviously people are shopping and getting ready for it since it's November. Let's see what we get with the preview. Before, after. Yeah, it definitely brightened it up, added a little bit of contrast. I like that. Let's go to the next shot. Good. So I'm probably not going to keep this. I couldn't really back up enough to get a great shot of this rusted out vehicle at the distillery district, but let's see what Brilliance AI did. Yeah, double shot and then brightened it up, added some contrast. I like that. All right, so this is my favorite shot from in camera, and this is my friend Paul. He walked past me, and then I was shooting the puddle and the reflection, and he's wearing a red jacket, and you can see this red frame. It was just purely coincidental. I really like how that turned out. And there's the original. I think Brilliance AI has overdone it a little bit, but it's a good starting point. And I'm going to crop this in. And I like the square crop. I'm going to keep that. And I'm going to process this a little bit later. This is Paul. We're at lunch. And I was just playing around with portraits. I'm probably not going to keep these, although I may send them to Paul. He might like them. I'm not sure. Decided I don't like this shot. Actually, let's go to the... At this point, I'm just going to switch to browse module. It's a little bit faster to navigate. So once I'm in browse, hit the X key. Okay, so I'm in browse now. We can see the folder structure. I'm sorry, I seem to be coughing a lot. This is brand new for today. Not going to keep this shot. X. I like this shot. I like the action, but I don't think that this shot is shareable. I'm just going to take a quick look at it, crop in. Whoops, I got to go back to the develop module. I hit C, and that took me to compare, but I'm not actually comparing it to anything. So we'll go into the develop module once we get there. So 2024 is faster, but there are some things that are a little bit slow. I'm not sure why. I'm going to crop in, hit the C key. Once this down here finishes, crop. And I'm going to go back to 4:5, which is my standard resolution. Crop in here, get a little bit of action. Yeah, I don't like this. X, hit the F to go back to film strip. So yeah, there's a few more pictures left. I'm not going to continue with those, but what I am going to do is I'm going to go into the grid mode and I'm going to filter, and I'm not going to look at that. I'm going to look at this. So this is what I've got left. I'm down to, what do we got? 17 items. And I think it's time to choose one photo to edit. Really like this dog, and I like this shot, this reflection. Well, which one should I do? So what I'm going to do, hit the C, and I'm going to compare these two and decide which one I should edit. You know what? I'm going to go with the dog. I think the dog is ultimately a more interesting photo. While this one is more artistic, I'm going to do the dog. All right, so let's go to the dog, edit this. And let's turn off Brilliance AI. Yeah, you can see, look at that. Now, one thing I learned since I did the last Brilliance AI video is that this color amount slider is grayed out until you go into the tone and colors panel and you change it from as shot to auto. Once it's in auto, Brilliance AI color amount slider works. So let's just do this as a Brilliance AI edit. And we got local regions, people. Well, there's no people except for the legs. Let's see what other options we got here. We've got animal, and man-made ground. So I'm going to add in animal and man-made ground, and I'm going to remove people. I'm going to hit apply. Wait a second. And now I've got these two options here. And already, just by doing that, I think that the photo's gotten a lot better. The dog pops out more, the background is a little bit darker, and I haven't even adjusted the amount, except for the color amount. So let's do the overall amount and see what happens. All right, so that's 200. That is super crunchy. We added way too much contrast and yellow. I think 100 here was pretty good. And let's play one with the dog, which is 25%. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Man-made ground. Okay, so I'm adding more man-made ground and it's getting super dark and unrealistic. Yeah, I think around 25 was nice. Now I want to play around with this dog a little bit more. Let's see what Brilliance AI did in the local tab. So you can either just go directly to local, or you can go here and click on the arrow, and it will take you to the local tab directly to the animal. And here I can add anything I could do in locals before, and you can see here opacity set to 39, which is exactly what I've got the dog set to here. So let's, I'm going to pull back on the shadows a little bit. And maybe I'm going to drop the contrast just a little bit. I think it's a little too much. And I want to pull the blacks down, whites up. I'm going to hit the J key, make sure I'm not overexposing anything. I got pure blacks in the blue, but I'm okay with those pure blacks. It's a small amount, and it's just a dog harness. I don't think it really matters that much. So I'm happy with that. And let's go to the effects tab and see what we can add here. Let's see about some sunshine. Sunshine will brighten up the photo a little bit. And I like sunshine or warm highlights. In this case, warm highlights seems better. Pull back a little bit. Yeah, that looks great. So I'm actually really happy with this. One extra effect and a little bit of time in one of the locals, and Brilliance AI turned this shot from this into that. Really happy with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a snapshot. And I'm going to call this Brilliance AI. Can't type. Come on, caps AI. Caps AI. And next, I want to see what one of my presets would do with the same shot. So I'm going to hit Control left arrow and pull up the presets browser and go into Sean's presets. And street black and white basic. Yeah, I like that. That looks pretty good. Sunny street. Wasn't very sunny today, so that makes sense that it didn't work out so well. And then I've got a Sean street in black and white. Whoops, where'd it go? You know what? I liked the street black and white basic. I'm going to click that. And so what we've got here now is two different versions. I'm going to call this one the black and white, BW. And I'm going to publish this with my Brilliance AI and my street black and white. Let me know which one you prefer in the comments here or on Vero. Thank you for watching.